So hello, good afternoon and welcome back to the Republic of Motorsport for round 3 here at the Temple of Speed. And there's some big news, Matt. Who is that at the top of the standings, do I see?
Rich, you are seeing the reigning champion. It's Stubbsy. He's back. He missed the first couple races, but he's making his return here at Monza. And he's already back where he left off last season.
Killing the hearts and minds of all of the ROM grid, I'm sure of that. And front half is already out of the qualifying session. Can you update us on that? Do you have any news there at all, Matthew?
Basically, he turned up at Ascari, spun, hit a barrier, and broke the car.
This is definitely a driver breaker, this circuit. Of course, running the lowest aero configuration on the calendar around here because you're on the loud pedal over 75% of the lap around here. Some big braking zones, and you really got to push yourself across them curbs. And the main one will be Ascari, where you really have to commit the car, ask it to do a lot of what it doesn't want to do, and yeah, you can really make yourself a cropper around there. But so far the grid today, we've got Stubbsy, Pez, Maitland, Westerns, B Ford, also known as Rooney. We've got James at 95, Vettel, Yanni Jans, Ludlow, Givads, we still don't know how to say your name, friend, Shaney, AMG, Lambert, Drazzy, front half's gone for a nice green, Lawn, Racing Carl, Stato, Tommy Real and Pullen. And do we have news? Did someone pick up a penalty early on, my friend?
Yes, they did. There was an incident between Racing Carl and Shane. It resulted in Shane in the barriers with a broken front wing. He's had to return to pit lane. And Racing Carl picking up a 5-place grid penalty. So he's going to be dropping 5 places on where he qualified on the starting grid.
Yeah, not the greatest of starts for some of them. Great to see so many drivers representing the ROM gamertag now. So we've got B Ford, Ludlow, James have all converted. They're doing themselves proud at the minute.
Yeah, it's all going rather well. They're 5th, 6th and 7th all together for the time being. See if they can jump up a little bit. It's not where he once was in qualifying for the first couple rounds this season. It's going to be a dry race, we are aware of that, so perhaps this will be Rooney's opportunity to jump up the field in quali. Now he doesn't have to compromise his setup.
Yeah, very true, but the bad news for him is he's got a couple of quick drivers in today, the likes of Pez, Stubbsy. You know, they're really going to hamper his chances of stretching his legs in this championship. And so far, he's had some good competition. It's a lot closer than we first thought, eh, man?
Yeah, we've had some very strong races, and we had a new winner last time out in Tommy Real, I do believe, who decided to do some donuts before he'd even won the race. He won by that much. It was a solid drive from Tommy Real last time out in the US of A. And it's Rooney's got it all to do then, closing up that gap in the championship.
Currently quite quiet out on track, but Pullen is on a push lap coming around the final corner, and you want to carry as much speed as you can and take a short trip up to the line on the inside here, and that puts him into P8, a 19.3.
Decent time there for Pullen. We got, I think that was Lawn just jumping up the field into P4 in the Mercedes. That's a 19 flat. We got a few cars who've already made their way down into the 18s. It's an 18.9 for Maitland, an 18.8 for Pez, and an 18.7 for Stubbsy, who I think we should point out is running no racing line. He's learning the no line, and that is why Might not be quite as dominant as he once was, but we'll see.
Still in P1.
Yeah.
Just goes to show the type of character. Of course, yeah, the reigning champion of the Republic of Motorsport, as well as the American British Racing Tier 1 champion, reigning, defending, undisputed champion of the world, Stubbsy. He's gone to the dark side. He's gone to sing. What do you think of that, man?
I think that's very disappointing. I mean, it's just, what a disgrace. I think he should be repping ROM, not gonna lie. I think that's his main league.
He won the champ, he dropped the mic, he said, I'm out of here, boys. See you later.
Got I was gonna say we got a few guys on the mediums, but most of them have switched to softs now. It's just Drazzy on the medium tyre for the time being. It's not a massive advantage here to be on the mediums. It's a soft medium strategy normally. We'll see whether that's something he chooses to stick with or whether he will make the switch.
9 minutes remain, and Tommy, get yourself in the car, lad. Get out on track. I mean, honestly, no lap time set.
He's just so confident after last week. You know, he could do donuts before the line, he could still win by like 15 seconds. He doesn't need to qualify. He's basically already won the race, hasn't he, really?
I mean, I've seen some things in my time, but doing donuts before you cross the finish line is not one of them, as Lucky Lambert puts it into P5. A 19 dead, very good time for the Haas driver there.
There he goes. That's Rooney up the order, or Beeford. Now, B4, I don't know how to pronounce it. B-Ford we're going with, as we should probably now call him. He's up into P2, he's right behind Stubbsy, and that's given me some flashbacks of last season.
Yep, and two are going to be going toe to toe. We know Pez will probably improve as well. He's just started a lap time actually, representing the home colours of the Ferrari here. Plenty of home fans to cheer him on. Of course, 3 teams call this their home. We've got the AlphaTauri, Alfa Romeo, and the Scarlet Ferrari with the massive Tifosi support. One of the greatest spectacles is the home support that these boys get around here, and that's unique podium that Monza has overhanging the circuit there. As we come into the second chicane, push the curbs nicely. Lesmo 1, Lesmo 2 is an opportunity to bin it. Hangs onto the curb nicely, and we have an invalidation there for Mr. Pez. Let's check in with someone else.
No, very easy to do there for Pez. You were just saying it's a place you could bin it. It's also a place you can run out wide and invalidate your time, as CSR Pez has just learned.
So quite happy to see a full grid once again, Matt. This is something which wasn't all too often last year, but great to see a full turnout, and should throw up an excellent race. Monza never disappoints.
Yeah, Monza is one of those classic tracks. You always see some strong racing at Monza, especially when we have a full grid of 20, like I think we did in Russia. So expect to see some carnage, some overtaking, and an overall pretty good race.
I can confirm Tommy Real is still in pit lane. Don't understand the logic there. He's risking it all. Maybe one last run. Oh, Vettel has spun it. He clipped the gravel.
That's
out
a phrase I'm used to.
Yeah. Not so much in the Red Bull. The only time I can actually remember him doing that was at the circuit with Gilles Villeneuve. They come under increasing pressure. But there goes Vettel. Right round, baby.
Spinala.
So checking in on the drivers' standings, we currently have Tommy Real leading the championship on 43 points. Then it is SLR Dacey on 34, and then we have Rooney, also known as B Ford, now currently in P3 on 30 points. So a 13-point gap between them two there. And then we've got Lorne Drazzy.
Rich,
Oh.
Pez has just gone on to pole. Pez has just absolutely set a banging lap time. He's gone a tenth faster than Stubbsy. He's taken provisional pole. Good lap there for the Ferrari driver.
Wow, wow, yeah. What a lap from Mr. Pez. But Tommy Real is on an outlap, we can confirm.
Excellent work, Mr. Tommy Real. Better late than never.
And in the constructors, it's Ferrari that lead the way. 59 points to Mercedes, 36, then McLaren on 31, then we've got AlphaTauri, Williams, Renault, Alfa Romeo, Racing Point, Haas, and the Red Bull boys. But strap yourselves in, boys, but hang on to your butts because it's about to get very busy out on track with 4 minutes remaining. And Stubbsy is invalidated a lap, it seems, maybe on an outlap. Cannot confirm or deny. Let's keep a close eye on Tommy Real in the sister Ferrari. Can we make it an all Ferrari front row? That's what the fans would love to see today.
Yeah, we don't see Ferrari front rows enough anymore. So it'll be great to see one here today. Tommy Real starting his lap.
Maximising all of the curbs there through the first turn. That's what you have to do to make the lap time up. Really lose a lot of lap time if you don't commit to them curbs. And here we go through sector 1. What's he going to bring us up on there? And it's purple.
Good first sector for the Tommy Real, and he's just done that. He has just done that. So that's an invalidation. Tommy Real, he'll now make his way back to pit lane, and he might just about have time to get around. It's going to be a bit touch and go, but he should just about do it.
This is the problem. When you haven't set a banker lap time, you can really throw it away because you're going to be nervous. You want to just get any sort of lap time if you're a quick driver, just to get yourself in that top 10. You don't want to be starting last. Not around Monza.
I don't know. You can avoid all the turn 1 chaos.
That's only when we're racing.
Yeah, we are like bulldozers when we race. We just flat out turn 1, straight line cane. And if someone's in front of us, well, that is unfortunate. We've got a few cars coming out, a lot of cars coming out then for their final runs, as we are now entering the final 2 minutes of the session.
Here we go, let's ride on board with B Ford. He crosses the line to start his final flying lap of the session. What can he do? Can he challenge for pole position here around the Temple of Speed in Monza, rocketing down towards turn 1? He's going to have to commit to that inside curve nicely. Already in 3rd gear, interesting strategy out that corner, gets on the traction nicely as he comes up here. Run a very tight line, minimise the distance travelled. Normally in real life you just want to maximise that average speed, but again very smooth across the bumps there. And we've got a purple sector 1 as we approach Lesmo 1. Let's keep an eye on Tommy as well. Will he have time? Still in pit lane.
If he's still in pit lane, then no. Tommy Real then, last week's winner, starting P20 on the grid for the Italian Grand Prix. Meanwhile, B Ford was a tenth and a half up on his personal best as he came through Ascari. Can he put himself onto that provisional pole slot? A tenth and a half, well that's just about what he needs, so it's really close. He's coming through the Parabolica on his final run of the session, floors the throttle, runs up to the shortest run up to the line. What will it be for Rooney? But B Ford, it's only P2 and he misses out on pole position by 27 thousandths of a second. It was close, but Pez for now has just done enough.
Ford just missed out by 200ths of a second. We've got Pez, he started his flying lap. They're all about to start their flying laps with 15 seconds to go in the session now. And Pez looks like he's off to a flyer through sector 1. And no, he speaks too soon. He's in the gravel And that will be it for Mr. Pez. Let's check in with Stubbsy.
10th up already, I think. So he is your reigning champion. He's currently P3 on the grid, but he's pushing. He's learning no line and he's doing remarkably well so far. Can he surpass Pez and put himself onto pole position? He comes to the end of the second sector and he's 2/10 up. He's doing enough as it stands. He doesn't need to improve by much. The 2/10 would be enough. He's just got to keep it together now as he runs up towards the final corner. Choose your braking point. Just past the 50-meter board. He just misses the apex slightly there, but that shouldn't cost him. Takes a tight line around that corner, up to the line. And it's pole position for Stubbsy. He's done an 18.3, 3/10 faster than his nearest rival. And that is the Haas driver, the champion, on pole position.
Absolutely smashed it. Lorne goes up into P4 with his final attempt. Drazzy's going to come around the final corner. Can he improve in the sister Mercedes? Here comes Drazzy, and he goes second. What a lap from Drazzy. I was not expecting that, and he's put himself on the front row provisionally. Can anyone else pop themselves up there? I think that's it, man.
Is Weston's backed off? I think he has. So that is qualifying complete, and it is Stubbsy on pole, Drazzy with a brilliant P2, Pez P3, P4, and we're getting ourselves up here for a cracking race.
So your final qualifying order. Stubbsy, the reigning champ, comes back with a bang. Without the line, puts himself up on the front row in pole position with an 18.387. Then in P2 was Drazzy with a fantastic final last gasp effort there. Puts himself on the front row. Then we've got Pez, B4, Lorne, Maitland, Westons, Ludlow, James and Vettel round out your top 10. Just outside of that, and of course all of these drivers will have a free tyre choice, will be Lucky Lambert, Shaney, Yanni Jans, Pullen, Givads, AMG. Then we've got Stato, Racing Car, Fronhoff. And the big disappointment here today is Tommy Real, last week's winner, will start from last place for his home race.
It's overcast skies then here at Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. We are just going to have a few minutes of a break just to let the drivers sort their strategies, sort their setups out, and then we can get ready to go racing.
It seems like track temperature will be slightly down. That will help the drivers manage their strategies a bit better throughout the course of this race. But the disappointing news is that there's no rain on the forecast.
Which is a shame because we've had such great wet racing these last two.
Yeah, they've put on a great exhibition of driving, these boys, over the last couple of weeks in the wet and wild conditions. But we're going to have a straight fight for it here today. And who's your pick for the win? Do let us know in the chat. And I'm going to throw that question over to Mr. Connerbeer. Who are you picking, sir?
Who am I going?
And it seems we've lost Matt there. Maybe a slight technical issue. Race control have given us the green light for the start of the session. We hope to get Matt back in time. We will have a formation lap for the start of this one. Stubbs is eager to get going. Here we are for
bit of advice, Rich.
Yeah.
Basically, when you're about to start speaking, don't drop your controller. That's just silly. Would not recommend.
Don't drop the ball, Matt.
My bad. There we go then, ready for the formation lap, and let's just have a quick check what tyres everybody is running. So we have the top 10 all on the soft compound tyre. That's the tyre they qualified on. Then outside the top 10, Lucky Lambert and Yanni and both gone mediums. Hullen, the Williams driver with the name I cannot pronounce. Aki and Stato have all gone for the softs. And then Shane, Thronhoff, Tommy Real and Racing Carl at the back have gone medium tyres. We're about to have a thrilling race here at Monza. Have you got any fond memories of Monza, Rich? Both in game and real life?
I mean, it always throws up an excellent Grand Prix in terms of league racing. It's always toe-to-toe, you know, with the DRS train that it is. Of course, last year's Grand Prix with Pierre Gasly picking up that win, that was, I'd say, one of the highlights of the season for me, to see Pierre up on that top step after everything he'd been through. It was one of the most thrilling Italian Grand Prix of recent memory. Of course, it's normally won by that very power-sensitive circuit, so Mercedes do very well around here. But what's your best memory?
Boah, you obviously got, like you said, last season with Pierre Gasly. I think Charles Leclerc, 2019, the Ferrari win at Monza, that was a special one. Yeah. We'll forget the engines on that one. That was just a great moment. Oh, and Stubbsy's already driven into the wall. Okay,
box. We need to change the wing.
So that's a pit lane start. Unfortunately, the game is made so you cannot break your car on the formation lap.
But it's Sunday, it's 4:30, it's almost 5 o'clock, but it's time for the Republic of Motorsport, round 3, the Italian Grand Prix, here at the Temple of Speed, Monza, and just north of Milan. And this is going to be a fantastic race. I'm really looking forward to this one. The return of Stubbsy, Drazzy putting himself on the front row, Pez really mixing up the order there on the second row, alongside the main protagonist, B Ford, also known as Rooney. I'm going to hand over to Matthew Collibeer for the start of this one. Strap yourselves in. This is going to be a thriller.
Final car has just pulled in to its grid slot, or has it? Because Thronhoff's just turned up late to the party, but he's here now, and they're all in their grid slots, and they are all getting ready to go. It's Stubbsy on the pole position, it's Drazzy P2, and it's a long run down towards that first corner, heavy braking, and it can be anyone's game as the lights begin to come on. And they're out, and we are racing at Monza. It's a good start for Stubbsy there. It's a poor one from Drazzy by the looks of it, or is it? It's just Stubbsy launching off the line. So Pez is going to go side by side with the Mercedes as they run through that first corner. And it's Drazzy who holds on to P2, and now B Ford or Rooney is trying to go side by side with Pez and gets the position, puts himself up in a P3. So it's Stubbsy who leads from Drazzy, Rooney, Pez, Weston's Lawn, James, Maitland, Ludlow and Lambert side by side as they're on the rundown towards their second chicane, and it looks like it's going to be Ludlow who takes that position.
I'm going to speak too soon, but it looks like an excellent start for all of the pack. They are still all in one piece, everything facing the right way, and we've got cars going wheel to wheel through the Lesbos. That is not advisable. You're going to need your parents' consent for that one, boys, as they come down the back straight, rocket down towards Ascari. Who can break the latest through there and carry the most speed? I think everyone's going to settle down now, Matt, and try and manage their batteries. This is going to be a real test of strategy, your battery, your fuel consumption around here. And Rooney, also known as B Ford, is really looking to make moves early on.
He's on the push. He got the move done on the opening lap as Lambert and Bessel going side by side. Can Rooney have a go here on Drazzy? The first time of asking. Stubbsy leads the way then as ignore the timing tower. Yellow's in set 3, someone going slowly. I think Thronhoff may have just had enough, as I'm seriously, this timing tower, it's very hard to contact this timing tower. Just turn it off. Drazzy was just having a look there on Stubbsy, I saw though. He's a bit too far back on this occasion, but they were very close as they went into Curva Grande. As we got, is that car off in the background perhaps? It is. Good start as out of the session.
Interesting place for it to happen as well. And the Curva Grande on the entry to it, so must have got called out, and Stubbsy has touched the grass, and here comes the Mercedes man. Drazi contested here for the lead of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, he had a look there, but he backed off. It's the wise thing to do. Ascari is not a corner you want to try and go down the outside of someone.
Is that another car off? Is it the same one? I think he must have retired on track.
Same one, I think.
Yeah.
I think he hit the retire button. And here comes Drazi then. He's gaining. He's set the fastest lap. He's looking to the outside. It'll be a tricky place to get that move done, and he's now falling back away from Stubbsy once again. Unless he's going to break late into the corner. He has had a look to the inside. Couldn't get anything done on that occasion.
Very impressive and respectful driving from the pair of them. Stubbsy, a very hard customer to get past. He's one of the late breakers on the game, and of course switched to ABS off for this season, and he's really adapted well to that. As you can see, looking good so far. And let's just shout out Tommy Real, already up to P13 after that disappointing qualifying session, really making some moves early on in the race.
Yeah, strong start for the Ferrari driver. We've got the DRS has now been enabled, seeing as we are on lap 3, and that means that Drazi will be getting even closer to the race leader as they fight through Ascari. We've just seen Bessel pick up his first 3-second track limits penalty.
Very easy to do when you're pushing across the edge of the envelope, and as we come in to start the start of lap 4 now, I think people start to get their elbows out and establish position. You don't want to be at the head of the train though either, do you, Matt? Because it's really going to compromise you in terms of your ERS management, etc. But Drazi doesn't care. He's going to go for it. He's going to go down the inside with the aid of DRS. Stubbsy's going to be a sitting duck. Is he going to try and send one back up the inside? He's going to make him think twice about it. He locks up on the brakes, but Drazi gets through, and this is going to invite B forward here. He's going to get a good exit around the Curva Grande and try and challenge now also for the lead of the Grand Prix.
Stubbsy though looking to fight back immediately. He's got the inside as they come towards the second chicane. Who's going to make the move then? It'll be the inside for Stubbsy. It's the outside for Drazi. They're very respectful, leaving space, but it's a strong exit for Stubbsy, and he'll have the inside for the Lesmo, and he's down the inside and he's back into the race lead. Strong move there for Stubbsy.
And all this battling is doing is just bringing more contenders into play. It's now a 5-way fight in this DRS train. It's going to be 7 or 8 in just a few laps if these boys carry on fighting. And Pez is the next one to pick up a penalty. Naughty Pez.
Pez, you naughty, naughty boy. Keep it together next time. Can't be making those silly little mistakes. It's all about the battery management here at Monza, and Stubbsy, despite being the lead of this train, is not he's not actually used too much of his battery. He's doing rather well for the time being. It's a good launch off the final corner for Drazi, and he's already, before they've even opened the DRS, pulled past and into the race lead. Strong move there for Drazi. He'll now weave a little bit there, I think, just trying to break the toe. A little bit naughty, but we'll let it slide on this occasion as Rooney's having a look to the inside there. Can't get anything done.
Look at Westerns as well. He almost rear-ended Rooney there as they get so close here. Here comes Stubbsy. Is he going to challenge once again? There's movers and shakers further down the grid. But we're going to concentrate at this battle at the front. And here comes Pez. He's going to go around the outside. He's now going to have the inside line down into the second chicane. And Drazi has taken the lead of the Grand Prix. And Stubbsy is all over him. Oh.
Pez still hanging on in there. He's got the outside though for Lesnar, and that's when he'll have to tuck in behind. But I think by going side by side so much there with Westerns, he's pushed Westerns away from the DRS of the guys ahead, and that's going to give Pez the advantage.
Here comes Stubbs. They're doing so well not to rear-end each other. I hate being this close. All it takes is one flinch, one misjudged braking point, and everyone's going to be good night into the barrier.
They come then. Oh, it's a switch there from Stubbsy. Just struggling to get the power out of the parabolica, and that might mean that he's just a bit too far back from the car ahead on this occasion. Can Rooney maybe think about making the overtake on his championship rival of last season? Not on this occasion. Again locking up. Oh, Stubbsy again. He's just dropped the back end in the middle of the chicane, and he nearly spun it, and he has gone onto the grass. Stubbsy's
Big
just
moment.
kept it together.
This is going to invite Westerns as well, round the outside of the Curva Grande. Pace is also going to line him up and try and send one up the inside of the next chicane.
He's just got that done there. Has CSR Pezzi get a little tap on the car ahead as well. So we'll just check the wing damage, but I think he's all good. So Pez up to P4, Weston P3, Rooney now in P2, but it is Stubbsy who's just dropped back down to P5 as Weston's picks up a 3-second penalty.
It's going to be music to the ears. Seeing Stubbsy have that moment for the likes of Drazzy and Rooney, because they've kind of checked out now. And talking of Drazzy, he's pulled the DRS on Rooney after that slight moment there for Stubbsy. Slight moment, that big moment.
Yeah, it was definitely more than a little moment. I thought he might be about to make his way into the barriers.
Yeah, I thought he was going to take out Rooney.
Well, that would have been absolute scenes.
Here we go, got a nice battle brewing in the background. We've got Mr. Lawn and Maitland, they're going wheel to wheel. Not much space given for the Renault driver. He's going to be boxed in up behind Stubbsy now as they go into the first chicane wheel to wheel. And the Renault's going to have the inside line, but the Mercedes should have the traction out the corner. It gets a little wiggle as well. Just hangs on to it, and that's going to invite Ludlow into the action.
Here comes the Alfa Romeo. He's going to look to the inside of the second chicane, down the inside, popped up on both of his brakes, but he's kept it together nicely. He's now up into P7. Lawn losing 2 places in the space of 1 sector.
I think Rooney out front has been given the message it's hammer time, because he's really closed in on the lead of this race now. He's got back within the DRS zone and he is absolutely flying along. He's using absolutely everything. Scenario 7. It's time to push now, Rooney, if you want the lead of this Grand Prix.
Giving it absolutely everything. He's got much less battery than the leader, so that's good management from Drazzy, but look at how close Rooney has gotten. We really should start calling him by his new name, but we're just not going to. Here he comes then in the McLaren. He's gaining on the Mercedes, gaining all the time. Can he make the move on Drazzy? He'll have the inside for the chicane once they get there, but I don't think he'll need it because he's going to get it done in a straight line, or is he? Can Drazzy fight back under braking? No, he can't. And it is Rooney who will take the race lead.
Nice driving there. Drazzy will try and come back through the Curva Grande into the next corner. Another good overtaking opportunity, and we've got a retirement. And VSC has been deployed. That is out on track on the exit, quite far off the exit of Ascari actually. It must have been a big moment there for Aki, and he is out of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, so only a virtual safety car, so the pack will not have to bunch up. The race is effectively neutralised, although you can get a free pit stop, or a cheap pit stop, we should say. But I doubt the VSC will still be out by the time the pack gets back round to pit lane.
It looks like a couple of the guys towards the back of the order have taken the opportunity to box under VSC. Of course, watch your delta. The VSC is exactly what it says it is. It is basically the delta lap time of the safety car in order to slow the field down as soon as possible after some tragic events in the past at Suzuka that was introduced in order to aid safety of drivers and recovery teams as well in the event of an incident on track. But we're getting ready to go racing. It's going to be about timing it, especially if you're on the straight now. And yes, we've got a drive-through penalty for Stato for being a naughty lad. And it looks like Drazzy has got an excellent restart here, and he's going to be right in the slipstream of Rooney, or B-Fall, shall we call him, down into turn 1. He's going to have the inside line as well. He's going to send it under brakes, and a pretty easy move in the end.
Yeah, just breezed on past the McLaren. That's the Mercedes driver back up into the race lead. But is B-Ford going to start coming back in? He's already using that slipstream to his advantage to gain on the run up towards the second chicane, but he's not going to be close enough to make a move on this occasion. Bucky Lambert just made the move on James P10. That's the final points paying position, as Stato picks up a 3-second time penalty.
Just checking in on the penalties. So far we've got Westerns, Pez, Maitland, Vettel, racing Carl Pullen, and Stato with a drive.
feel like we might be about to see a change for the lead again, not gonna lie. Look at Rooney having to back off before the parabolica there, just to make sure he did not pass his rival before the DRS straight. And oh, there's a little dummy there from Jersey, dummying towards pit lane. He's chosen to stay out. That'll give Beeford all the opportunity he needs to use his DRS. It'll be the outside for the chicane. Can he get this one done? Yes, he can. Puts himself back into the race lead, as I think we've got some cars in the pits.
Just got Mercedes looking to the inside here. That's Lorne and Vettel going for it. Lorne doesn't get the move done on this occasion. I'm just going to invite Lucky Lambert into the fight. Big news at the front, Matt.
Oh, yeah, race control have just given us the word that ROM Beeford, the race leader, has picked up a 3-second track limits penalty.
Oh, and Lorne round the outside there of Lesmo 1. Not a place that you want to be really at the firing line, but hangs on to it and hangs on to P8 as well.
Yeah, it was a good driving there. Lucky Lambert came off the brakes. He decided to avoid any kind of a collision and just let that position go. So good, clean driving from them. And let's see, do the leaders come into pit lane after Stubbsy, I believe, was the one who pulled the trigger, came into pit lane. So we'll see what the leaders do. Here comes the McLaren. Will he pull into the pits? Yes, he will. Drazzy stays out. Western pits, Pez pits, Maitland pits, Ludlow pit. Vettel stays out. Lambert has stayed out. Muriel has stayed out. He's on medium tyres. That's expected.
Hive of activity in pit lane. Let's see where B Ford comes back out. Has Stubbsy got the jump on these boys? The undercut will be big around here. It takes a while to get up to speed down towards turn 1. And that's Stubbsy in the background there behind Racing Carl, who is yet to stop.
As he came out the pits then just behind Pez, the undercut, not perhaps working quite as well as the Haas driver would have wanted. He now have some slightly more worn tyres all the way to the checkered flag.
So Drazzy chose not to stop. He did have the DRS down the main straight. Maybe he used that to his advantage, a bit of clean air. And the longer you extend your stint, of course, that covers off any risk of a potential safety car, but you're going to negate that with the undercut of that fresh rubber on the car. And we've got a change of position up ahead, and someone's into the barriers. Vettel, he's had a big moment on the exit of Ascari, and we've got damage on the Red Bull.
That's unfortunate for Vettel. It's such an easy mistake to do, and just as you were talking about safety car, I thought we might just get one there. Thought the stricken Red Bull in the wall, but he's able to keep that car alive, keep it going, and he will continue in this race despite now being a long way back as Aki is out of the race. That's fine. Let's see, Drazzy pits, so where will he come out?
There goes Rooney.
Rooney, look how much time he's gained. Rooney has just pulled away from making that undercut, and now it will be up to Drazzy to close up the gap to the leader and make the mark on this race.
There's a good ding-dong battle in the background. Stubbsy just getting past Racing Carl now, and we've got a few flying cars, Westerns and Maitland, looking to make up positions and stay with Stubbsy. He's going to tow them all the way to the front and the battle for this race win.
Wow, Stubbsy just looked so much more confident going through this game. He comes right up to the back of CSR Pez. We'll see if he can maybe make the move with the DRS on the run up to Ascari. It's not going to be close enough, is he? The straight's just not quite long enough. It's a pretty tricky corner to pass anyway. Racing Car picks up 3 seconds as Stubbsy gets a wiggle up in the middle of Ascari there. Just manages to hold it together. And it's those kind of mistakes that can see you slipping and sliding into the wall, as Vettel just did.
Racing Carl really struggling at this point. He's lost the position, and Maitland's going to fly on by as well. It's going to be 2 for 1 in the same straight. wants a piece of Westerns as well. Down into turn 1. They're going to go wheel to wheel. What a move by Maitland. Can he get the traction out of the corner though? They're going to have a drag race all the way up to the next corner.
Maitland just not able to get the traction. He was pinned to the inside line there by Westerns. It's good driving from Westerns, and that made sure that Maitland could not accelerate off the corner like he would have wanted, and he's now stuck one behind for another sector at least. Got Ludlow making a move on Racing Carl, so like you say, Racing Carl just falling backwards on his very worn medium tyres. He will be pitting for softs towards the end, so we could see an excellent turn of speed for him in the closing stages, but like I say, he's just struggling now and losing grip, and now James has moved past him as well.
So that first round of pit stops, it really worked out well for B Ford. I mean, he's got a good considerable gap now to Drazzy, and Drazzy's going to be a bit of no man's land once everyone comes into the pits. As Stubbsy gets ahead of Pez down the main straight, and also in the background, look at Maitland up the inside of Westerns. And Vettel
That's on track. Vettel in the wall. He spun it out of his car. He's made that same mistake, and there's a safety car deployed, and you know who that plays right into the hands of? Anyone who started on the medium tyres.
Lucky for Lambert, the safety car has been deployed. Now interesting. The softs should go to the end from here.
Yeah, I would put softs on. Safety car will come in on about lap 16. 11 laps on the soft tyres is definitely doable on the low fuel. So this is going to play right into those hands. And the interesting thing will be, if you've just boxed for mediums, do you want to stay out or do you want to come in again and put softs on like everyone else?
Aye. It's going to be a big dilemma for the teams. They're going to be crunching the numbers and making some last minute calls as of course the top 4 cars will all dive into pit lane. And as I was saying, B Ford had that lovely advantage, but it didn't last very long. It's going to be down to 0 again on the restart. And let's see if he's going to box. What's he going to decide to do?
Got Tommy Real in the box, 2.5 in, as is Jenny Jans. B Ford stays out. We've also got, is he the only one staying out, or is there someone ahead of him? That's a lap car, I think. We've got lots of cars coming into pit lane. Anyone else staying out? We have Stubbsy stays out on his old medium tyres. Pez has stayed out on the mediums. Lucky Lambert rejoins the race at about P6. Is that about to be? Yes, it is. So P7 took right there for the hash driver, making up places. So a lot of the guys who were on mediums stayed out, but Lucky Lambert's put hard tyres on. What are you thinking about that?
Yeah, I think that's not the best call in the world. Of course, you would have been concerned about the tyre wear on the softs. Maybe you didn't have a fresh set to hand. Yeah, interesting call there.
Absolutely. Of course, he was starting on the medium, so he could have put on another set of mediums. Then he'd have to have made another pit stop. But yeah, like you say, I think he'll be struggling now on those hard sides. So on the softs, it's Tommy Real P10 and Thron Half P11 and Shane P13. They're the ones who have done what I think I would have done and put on a fresh set of soft tyres.
Yeah, Racing Carl also making the same decision. And Yanni Jans, I'd even consider boxing again for another set of mediums on this lap just to get it out of the way, the 2-tyre compound rule, and go to the end.
Yeah, I mean, if you're at the back, you may as well, mightn't you?
Yeah, not much to lose, everything to gain. We'll be in the right rubber at the right time, and we're going to have another course of Monza, because the field is quite spread out still, with Stato well off the back of the pack, still in pit lane as the snake comes round to complete another lap. And not a good day for the Alpha Tauris by the look of it. 16th and 17th.
It's Monza rich. You can't be calling things like that with 12 laps to go. Trust me, they're about to do the drive of the century. They're literally going to finish 1 and 2. Literally.
You heard it here first.
Oh, Shane's in the pits. Why is Shane in the pits? What's going on here? Does he not want the softs? What's going on with Shane? He's putting on medium tyres, so didn't think the softs would go to the end.
Interesting call there.
Check his... Yeah, I would have stayed out, I think, on the soft tyres. I think they would easily go to the end from here. Well, not easily, but it's, you know, that's doable. I think that's the risks you've got to take.
Well, as it stands, looking down the real winners and losers, Rooney, also known as B Ford, is up 3 positions. So we've got Stubbsy down 2, Lucky Lambert up 4, Tommy Real, the big winner, up 9 positions, as well as Fronhalf up 7. Lawn is down 8 as it stands. Racing Carl up 6. And of course our DNFs of Vettel, Aki and Givats are out of the race. We're hoping the safety car will come in at the end of this lap and we can have a sprint race to the finish for the remaining 11 laps of this Grand Prix. And it's going to be that man Rooney. He really needs a good result here today in his championship fight. And he's going to have some quick prospects which are going to be hot on his heels now. He did have that gap before out of the DRS zone, but that has just been mitigated by the safety car and the retirement of Mr. Vettel. Here we go.
Yeah. Have we got it coming in? Or are we doing that?
We've still got a car in sector 2. Another lap.
We're doing another lap. Pain.
On the safety car. Turn the lights off. In.
Go on. Surprise all of them.
Just pull off
Just
quick.
Like a...
Oh no.
Can you imagine if Mylander did that one time just for like a joke? It was just like, alright, bye.
Well, stop the drivers like going and stopping, wouldn't it? He just goes in. Just no time to think about it. I think you should do that. Mix it up.
Alright, you send him an email and tell him, barring Grand Prix, when the safety car comes out, which it inevitably will, you just pull off into the pit, Sunshine, see what happens.
Even better idea, let me make a guest appearance and I'll throw a spanner in the works. I'll get in the safety car.
Isn't that the dream?
What pressure must it be like though to have the charging Lewis Hamilton, etc. up your gearbox right behind you, all in your mirrors, and you're absolutely ragging it, trying to hold on to the car through every corner, and he's just cruising. Yeah, saying, "Come on, speed up."
I think that would be the difficult bit. Is you're the safety car. If you have a crash, it doesn't look particularly good for the name safety car, does it? And yet still, when you drive in through the corners at least, you've got to be going flat out hard as you can, just to allow the guys behind to keep some kind of temperature in their tyres.
And the interesting fact is that this season we will have some Aston Martins, I do believe, as a safety car as well. So watch out for that. Talking of the safety car, he's turned out his lights. So Rooney, over to you.
Mr. Rooney or B Ford. We keep calling him Rooney. We need to stop. It's going to be confusing.
Mr. Ford.
Yes, Mr. Ford will now back up the field. It'll be Drazzy in P2, and he'll be looking to get the launch that he needs to and fire away. It's very slow here from Rooney, and you know what that's going to be? Oh, Maitland's left. I will get on that. Rich, do a restart commentary.
Here we go, lap 17 of 27, and B Ford has put the hammer down, and he's got an excellent restart. He's pulled half a second already on Drazzy as we enter the Parabolica. Stubbsy's going to stick with Drazzy, and an excellent restart for our leader here. Is anyone else going to make a move down towards turn 1? Is anyone going to be close enough? It looks like Westons is hot on the heels of the stricken Maitland, who has left the session, unfortunately. Here comes Lambert on Westons, though. He's going to go out the inside in the Haas, down into turn 1. And Maitland has lost 2 positions in one corner. The Racing Point runs a bit wide there, and it's going to push out the Haas up onto the curb, and this is going to invite his teammate as well, the ROM James. He's into the fight. Look at the amount of cars here battling away as we enter the Curva Grande. It's anyone's fight here on the restart. Of course, we're going to have DRS for a lap or so. And off into the... Oh, big contact there. James off.
Oh, Ferrari as well. Tommy Wheels hit the back of the Westerns, and he's broken his front wing as well. It's carnage as they arrived at the second chicane. And it was that James, the racing point there, that went off. Tommy Real breaking his front wing, and that is their race is ruined as Maitland rejoins the section. He's down to P13, but the pack is still there, all in one group. So hopefully he can make his way back through the order. Oh my goodness, it's carnage as Stubbsy picks up a 3-second penalty now.
Some big damage, and Tommy is going to have to box. There's going to be red wing damage on the front of that Ferrari, and you have barely any wing at the best of times. He's looking so good after starting plumb last, and he's just going to get gobbled up now.
Mr. Ford sets the fastest lap of the race as he attempts to break away, and as Tommy stayed out.
He stayed out. He's a madman. Down towards turn one. Lord's having a look at the back of front half, and front half a late move there in the braking zone. Not too sure about that one. And look, Tommy wants a piece of the action. He's not giving up, this lad. Yellow flag, sector 3. Someone's retired in pit lane, I believe.
Yeah, that's racing car out of the race, so a double DNF Rebel, and just as he was saying, Tommy Real doesn't want to give up, he left the session. That was the commentator's curse. Back at it again. I will try to get him back in, but I'm not sure he's going to join.
I think he knows it's a lost cause, but you never know. There could be another safety car, there could be more carnage. You've got to be in it to win it, and Stubbsy has dropped off the battle of the lead now. Must have gone wide somewhere, picked up that penalty now. 1.4 seconds off the back of Drazzy, who is sticking with V Ford out in front for the battle of the lead. So it's currently a two-way fight. Pez as well is hanging on to Stubbsy as it stands. And who's looking good, Matt, in terms of tyre strategy towards the end of the race? Who have we got to watch out for?
You obviously got to watch out for Mr. Front Half now. He's the lead driver, and now Tommy Real's left, the only driver on those soft compound tyres. On that strategy that I thought would work, the one I would have done. You've got to watch out for these leaders as well, though, because they've got the good pace. They're still on medium tyres, which are a good tyre, a good race tyre. They always are, as Maitland making up a place already on Shane. He's on his comeback drive after a very unfortunate disconnect. He had like 3 laps of safety car to disconnect, but the game decided, nah, we're going to wait right until the restart. That's when we'll disconnect, because that would ruin his race more.
Yeah, heartbreaking scenes there. Happens to the best of us, and really not what you want to see. Nice freeway battle here, and this is the battle for P7 between James Ludlow and Front Half. Expect to see some team orders here, Matt. Ludlow to let Front Half through. What do you think?
No, what I'm expecting to see right now is Pest make the move, because he's practically pushing Stubbsy on the run up to his car. I think he's just lifting off there because he wants to wait perhaps until the main straight to get it done, because he knows that if he gets it down to a Ascari, Stubbsy will just go straight back past him. But yeah, he was really going for it there.
And I mean, Stubbsy really struggling. 3.4 seconds now off of Drazzy. Has anything happened to him that you can see? You think he's got damage of some sort?
Cannot see anything on the cameras. He looks all fine. Perhaps just struggling a little bit here as he learns that no line is. Here comes Pez down the inside into the first chicane. Has he got this move done? Yes, he has. Just parks it on the apex, the second part of the chicane, and he's up into P3 and will now set about chasing after the leaders as Maitland puts a move on Pullen as well. As he continues his charge through the field, and we got the Alfa Romeo side by side, and it's
Stubbsy Pez
makes the move. Stubbsy. Oh, Stubbsy's got it done. Did Pez go early on the brakes there, or?
I'm not quite sure. I didn't expect that to happen, but yeah, Stubbs not giving up at all there. Let's now put them 4.4 seconds adrift of the lead for the Grand Prix, and out in front, B Ford's got his head down and he's dragging Drazzy with him. Come on! Oh, look at this bump draft down into Ascari. How close do you want it?
Maybe a little bit closer so they overtake each other. That would be nice. So it's Drazzy who's, although he's not leading this race at the moment, he has not picked up a time penalty, and at the moment he is actually in the net race lead ahead of the McLaren. Stubbsy and Pez then about to go side by side. I think it's going to be Pez He'll go to the inside once again for the chicane. He's gone to the inside. Can he go late on the brakes? Yes, he can. And he'll put himself up into the race lead. Or the race P3, what am I on about? Is there some contact there at the second corner?
James, front half all in a battle, and someone is off, and that looks like Yanni Jans. He's had a moment. There is some contact down into turn 1. Sad scenes there for the Renault driver.
Yeah, very unfortunate, and that's both Renaults currently outside of the points, although Maitland is pushing now as he attempts to close up to Lawn, who's the car ahead of him.
So yeah, if we're considering penalties and you're Drazzy, you're just going to want to stay on the back of Mr. Ford now. Stay within that DRS and just cruise home to victory. Not what we want to see, of course. We want to see him scrapping.
We want to see a good battle, but if you're Drazzy, you are going to play it smart here, and you're just going to tuck in behind. You're going to use DRS, you'll use your battery where you have to, and just hold on. Comes Stubbsy. Can he make the move then to get back ahead of Pez, or will it be Westons who makes a move? He's right with the battery now, but he's not really got the battery, so if anyone's going to make a move, it's going to be Stubbsy. Is he going to be close enough? We'll have to go the long way around. Can he get them done? No, he can't.
And there's the laps Tommy Real. Just in that battle there. But it's a nice battle for the final podium position. It's Pez, Stubbsy, Westons and Lucky Lambert all in the battle, as well as front half not too far off on them soft tyres. All come into play soon as Stubbsy just taps the back end there, unpolitely there, of Pez. And the Lambert having a look at the back of Westons in the background there as we come through Lesmo 1. And it's all going to come down to these last few laps. Who's going to have enough in the tank? Who's going to be able to push and charge through for that final step on the podium?
Yeah, it could be anyone's game here. They're in such a long train there from behind Pez, and Stubbsy got very close there. Under braking, almost hitting the back of the Ferrari of CSR Pez. But he's just still in behind, and he's just about still got his front wing.
Excellent racecraft on display. I would have definitely binned it several times now and taken someone out with me, I'm sure of that. But these are some of the finest drivers you're going to see on this platform. Of course, we're on Xbox every Sunday, the Republic of Motorsport, 4:30. And it's all to play for. Front half now making some moves. Moved himself up into P6 on them soft tyres.
We've got Drazzy is right up behind Mr. Ford here going into the second chicane. Does he want to make the move here? Not quite. Mr. Ford did have to go a little bit defensive into turn 1. So perhaps Drazzy choosing, he wants to get this one done on track, even if he doesn't have to.
We've got the battle between Lawn and Ludlow, I want to say there, and they go wheel to wheel through that. Not advisable, boys. Both come through unscathed, and Ludlow holds on to the position for another corner.
Oh, we've got Westons has dropped places. I think he may have made a mistake there. Perhaps some contact with Stubbsy, because he's dropped back as well. Lucky Lambert now up to P5.
That's music to the ears of Mr. Pez, who has a 1.8 second lead over front half, who's accelerated himself up into P4. Yeah, there must have been a moment.
Maybe got wing damage, either of them. I think Weston has got wing damage, so he'll have to put it to the pits. We'll see if Stubbsy, I think he might have just got away with that. There's no damage once again, but he's down to P6 now. Is your reigning champion.
Yeah, Weston has boxed and retired from the session. Stubbsy struggling to get stopped down into turn 1 there, just about made the apex.
Did have a pick up another 3-second time penalty, and that brings his total up to 6 seconds. Oh, Drazzy he just got very sideways coming out of the first lesson. I thought he might be about to slide into the wall and throw what could be a win away, but he's kept it together and he's 7/10 back from the race leader.
So can front half make up the time them tyres will be starting to fade now. That softer compound rubber should still be a tad quicker though. You can see the podium up ahead of him. Pez also has a penalty, and it's lucky Lambert in with a shout of a podium here. I think he's within striking distance. He just has to hang on to the back of front half, and it's going to be his, surely, Matt.
Yeah, but Stubbsy has decided he wants to get involved anyway. He's just passed Lucky Lambert and put himself up in the P5, although it's going to be Lambert who will have the DRS. I think Stubbsy's actually got a lot of battery, or at least he's using it there. And he does have DRS in the car ahead anyway.
Front half has now entered the DRS detection zone of a front half. Front half of Pez. Losing my words, don't know where to look at the minute. And they're going to come down to the last few laps. We're on the penultimate lap of the Grand Prix. The Italian Grand Prix always flies on by, and this one has not failed to disappoint.
And the grid is also close. I think a lot of the positions are going to be decided on those track limit penalties, and that's why it is so important just to keep it neat and tidy. So beneficial come race end. The race leaders are coming round the Parabolica to start their final lap of this Grand Prix as Maitland picks up another time penalty, and that's going to pretty much solidify his position in this race down in P10. Brazzi, he's 5/10 away from the race lead at the moment, doesn't need to go for the move. If he can just keep it clean this lap, that's all he's got to do is drive a clean lap of Monza, and as I said that, the rear end just got away from him going through the first corner, but he's kept it together. They're all staying line astern as the rest of the field come into turn one. We're saying that Shane has just made a move on Perth. There's Jazzy, who's still there, still within that 3-second window of the race leader.
Jazzy knows he can just afford to slowly edge off the throttle ever so slightly. Just bring it home now, baby. Give an extra bit of margin on those curbs for the final few corners, a final pass through Ascari, and it can all be yours, baby. Just bring it home now. And Lucky Lambert has slipped back and might just be outside of a podium come the end of this one now. But Rooney, you know, it's looking promising for him early on. He pulled out the advantage. He's had to pull it again, and he's going to come around on track to win the Italian Grand Prix. But Drazzy is your man of the hour. Drazzy's kept it clean, he's kept it consistent, and he's going to win here for the first time this season. Big Drazzy up on the top step of the podium. Will Pez hang on to the podium? We're about to find out. His front half in hot pursuit. It's lucky for Lambert. Not so lucky. He's done very well. Hard tyres, Matt.
Yeah, he's done very well on those hard compound tyres. We thought he made the mistake putting on the hard tyres, but it worked out for him in the end, picking up the podium by just 0.07 of a second.
He's played his cards right. Driver of the day goes to front half. Any considerations for you?
Drazzy.
Big Draz.
Sorry, you asked me a question as I was trying to drink some water. But yeah, Drazzy is my vote for driver of the day. I think he's won that race on merit. He's kept it neat and tidy, and I think he, it goes to him, I think.
Here's your podium. Drazzy taking a photo of the moment, lifting the trophy on this special podium here at Monza. B Ford will be kicking himself, picking up that 3-second penalty, which has robbed him of that race victory here today. And Mr. Lucky Lambert in the Haas taking home the final spot on the podium. Big well done to all drivers on the podium today. All deserve to be up there. And let's get him in for an interview. So your final order is Drazzy, B Ford, Lucky Lambert, Pez just misses out on the podium, then front half Ludlow, James, Lorne, Stubbsy all the way down in P9 after that late incident. Then we've got Shaney with the final point, Pullen just missing out on the points, and then Maitland, Yanni Jans, Stato, Tommy Real left the session before the end, and our DNFs of Westerns Racing, Carl, Vettel, Aki, Givads. That's your order.
Yeah, what a race then, Big Rich. Drazzy picking up his first win of the season, Rooney not taking the win, so he's still got work to do in the championship, although saying that, Tommy Real, the championship leader, having a DNF here at Monza, not what he needed going forward in this championship.
Let's get the lads in.
Hello there. We've got two people who have just joined the party. We have our race winner, Drazzy, and we have Rooney in the booth as well. Sorry, it's Mr. Ford. We need to stop calling him Rooney.
Oh, yeah.
Let's start with Drazzy. Are you there? Are you good to go?
Yes.
First of all, congratulations on your maiden race win here this season. What a drive. Talk us through it. How did that go for you?
I was quite surprised with my qualified in second, which I didn't really expect. Then the race I just put my head down, trying to keep up with Stubbsy, but then somehow he made a mistake out of the chicane, and then it was just me and Rooney going back and forth. And then the safety car came, I doubted if I should pit or not, and then Rooney picked up 3 seconds, and after that it was just trying to stay within the DRS. He was fast, he was really, really fast.
Yeah, as he so often is. Once you knew Rooney had the penalty, did you want to get the move done on track, or were you just focused on staying with him?
I really wanted to get the move done, but I was on like 15% ERS every single lap. As soon as lap 20 went by, so it was more of trying to keep in that 3-second gap.
Okay, well, once again, big congratulations to you, sir. We'll move over to our second place driver. It's Mr. Ford, as we shall now call him. Are you good? You ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready. Got what we're doing.
Well, it was a strong drive from you. You showed some excellent pace, but it was that corner cutting penalty that cost you. Talk us through your race. How did that go?
Yeah, first of all, well done to Drazzy on the win. Kept it clean and consistent. Obviously, didn't get any penalties. First lap, I got both 2 warnings on my first lap. Just I didn't feel confident in the car on the soft tyres, which is weird because all week in practice I felt really good. So a bit strange. Middle part of the race, managed the ERS and fuel quite well. Safety car came out, wiped out my 2-second lead, which was a bit annoying for the penalty. And then me and Drazzy just matched each other for the last 10 laps, which was annoying but quite fun.
Anything you would like to add, Rich?
A fantastic Grand Prix once again, never fails to deliver the Republic of Motorsport boys. Unlucky to Mr. Rooney, but massive congratulations to Drazzy, who kept it super clean and consistent and brought home the dub here today. It was a fantastic watch, and any final closing words from you, Mr. Connerbeer?
Ooh, that's me. I'm Mr. Connerbeer. I think that was a thrilling race. We saw a good qualifying session. We saw the return of the champion, although perhaps not as fast as he once was. He is learning to drive without the racing line, so we'll give him that little excuse. But it was a strong race. Well done to Drazzy, well done to Rooney, and we'll move on to the next one.